Hello again, everyone. It's Dave and Wemmy back. Wemmy is just looking absolutely stunning. I'm just gonna
I was about to say don't mind my band 2 knots, but thanks, babe.
Anyway, well, yeah, you're welcome. So here we're talking about, this is very long overdue. And
yeah, we are so behind in life right now, and I'm sure you guys can understand. We're planning stuff for the wedding, and just life has been super busy.
But in good ways.
Yeah, in good ways. So.
But we are finally back with Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson
Eggerichs.
Eggerichs.
We're gonna go with Eggerichs.
Okay.
The love she most desires and the respect he desperately needs.
More than one. Oh, sorry, I thought we were just reading.
I was just reading the subtitles.
More than 1 million copies in print. Anyway, so this is book number 2 in our premarital counseling. And basically
our marriage tune-up series.
Exactly, yeah. So there were 4 books in this series, and we want to present them all to you. Since we're reading them, we thought we'd share the highlights, the lowlights, and
we're still going to be doing the book giveaway when we're done everything. So yeah.
So one lucky winner will get this little bad boy. It's great.
Yep.
So to start off, may I?
I don't think I'll just kind of introduce this little part, and then you can do it all.
All right.
Just wanted to mention what the entire book is based on.
Yeah.
So the book is, I guess, derived or whatever, sits on the foundation of a very important verse in the Bible about marriage, and that is Ephesians 5:33, which says, and I quote, "Each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband." Done. Real simple. So that's what love and respect is all about.
Yeah.
Now you can go ahead.
So yeah, so based on that, basically the whole concept of the book, or a very base underlying of the book, is the fact that we talked about the 5 love languages. This is almost kind of focusing in on 2, in a sense, in that women, typically, they speak the language of love. So they need love, they want to feel love, that's what they crave, that's what they desire. Whereas men typically need respect and need to be shown respect, to feel, in a sense, to feel loved, but just that's what they need in terms of making a relationship work.
Yeah, it's almost a core.
Yeah.
It's a core for men and a core for women. There are other things,
Absolutely.
But it's a very deep, necessary core in the foundation of a relationship.
Yeah, so if we just kind of jump back to like the 5 love languages, for example, one example is words of affirmation. So a typical woman, and again, this is very broad generalizations, but a typical woman who values words of affirmation, they're words of love, saying, like, you look great today, I can't stop thinking about you, you're the love of my life, things like that. Whereas the man, the typical man in the generalization, would value more things like, way to bust your hump and get that promotion.
Like, I appreciate you working hard for the family and
we bring home the bacon. Yeah. So just little things like that. So they're kind of independent.
I appreciate you working hard.
Well, thanks. Look, and I just light right up. It's great. But anyway, so love and respect. So that's what it's all about. So now we'll jump into the kind of the specifics. So basically the first kind of piece, this is a scary one, talks about the crazy cycle. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's a very simple roundabout way, basically, that says, without love, she reacts. Without respect, he reacts. And it just it drives. It's
really simple. It's like, if she's not getting loved, she reacts by not respecting the man. And since he's not getting respected, he reacts by not loving her. So then she just... You guys see where that goes? Like, how can you... Yeah, it's crazy.
It's terrible. That's the definition, is the crazy cycle.
The crazy cycle.
And so basically the book talks about, how easy it is to get on it.
Yep.
And how hard it is to stay away. But, just some kind of key elements that do try to help you to stay off, or once you're on, get off. Kind of. Yeah.
I think, as Dave said, it's really easy to find yourself in that crazy cycle because all it takes is one person having a bad day and not showing love towards their partner or not showing respect towards their partner. And once that starts, the person's just like, well, why aren't you loving me? Screw you. and that's obviously disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then he's like, why'd you say screw me? I don't love you. And as soon as that happens, that's it. You're stuck in that cycle.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of it to the core. Another kind of extension of what the book talks about is basically, well, there's when you're in that kind of fear, or in that crazy cycle, there's a fear of you don't want to put yourself out there. So if I'm not feeling respected, I don't want to just say that, I love you anyway, kind of thing. It doesn't, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position.
Yeah,
so
it's like you're forced, not forced, but for you to break that cycle in a way, it's like you have to show love to someone that's disrespecting you.
Right.
And who wants to do that?
Right. And
like, no one wants to love someone that...
on the flip side, it's, from the female's perspective, they don't want to show respect to someone who's not loving them, because then they feel like, they're a doormat kind of thing. Yeah. And you can't just keep putting yourself out there kind of thing. So that's some of the core concepts that they talk about on the crazy cycle. Now, interesting point of how to break it, and this is a key one, is really maturity. It basically comes down to somebody
being the bigger person.
Yeah,
put on the big girl pants, and the big man pants.
Yeah, and I don't want to say somebody. I want to say both, because it's not one person. It's not the other. It's both. Yeah, and some days it'll be me, some days it'll be Wemmy, and we can't predict that. And but every time we
once
get into
that crazy cycle starts,
both of us should want it.
Yeah.
And I think we do, and it is interesting though, just kind of reflecting on this book, because it's so easy to get into it, and we've identified with being in it, and you kind of look back and laugh after, but it is very easy to get inside of it, and it's tough to break, but take that knowledge that you just got to step up.
I know Dave looks so easy and great to love and respect, but sometimes we do get into it, guys, believe it or not.
and I know Wendy looks like a real peach.
I'm not always a walk in the park myself.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah. So that's the kind of the first segment, is the crazy cycle.
Now, let's just give a quick disclaimer here, guys. We might get sweaty. I might pass out during this. I'm not sure. It's super hot today. So I have my water bottle here, but Dave might break out in a sweat.
I'm already sweating.
Yeah, I might. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah.
So next up, we have the energizing cycle.
Energizing cycle. Shall I show?
Yes, you can show the cycle.
Here's the energizing cycle. So basically, what does it say, Wemmy?
His love motivates. Her respect motivates.
His love motivates her respect.
Yeah, so his love motivates her respect motivates his love. His love motivates her respect.
Just keeps going.
Her respect motivates his love.
And so what's that? That's the energizing cycle.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, and that's really pretty much the opposite of the crazy cycle. Self-explanatory. And this is, he actually talked about this quite often in there, that people don't always respond to your love or respect when you try to get into that energizing cycle from the crazy cycle. Right. So you might find yourself in a crazy cycle and you're like, you know what, put on my big girl pants and I'm going to just respect this man. Although he's not really loving me, I'm just going to respect him. And some men will see that right away and be like, oh my gosh, she just said something nice to me. She just encouraged me, and she just complimented my work or something. He's like, I'm going to take her out for dinner. I'm going to tell her how beautiful she is. And some men will do that. Some men will be like, well, this is weird. Screw that. And kind of keep doing their thing.
Yeah.
And some men might just not even notice it. It might take a month. It might take 3 months. And they'll be like, oh, something's different in you. I guess she's being nice now. Maybe I should be nice to her. So the point I'm trying to say there is this cycle might take a while for you to get back into it once you find yourself that crazy cycle, because it depends on how your partner reacts to what you're feeding them. So don't take it as, if you're going to put on the big girl pants, put them on and keep them on. Like, don't take it as, oh, you know, he didn't love me back, so screw that, I'm taking my pants off. No, keep them on and just...
These are figurative.
Yes, yes. Don't like just take off your... You guys get what I'm trying to say, okay?
Okay, Wendy. Okay, let's carry on.
Okay.
So yeah, that's great. And anyway, so it talks about how to, basically it talks about two different perspectives of how to get on the energizing cycle. First, it's directed at the men, typically, and then it's directed at the women. So they have a couple acronyms. So the one directed towards men on how to treat their woman is COUPLE. COUPLE.
Let's hope.
That.
What that is?
Yeah, you betcha I will. So C for closeness.
C.
O for openness. U for understanding. P for peacemaking. L for loyalty. And E for esteem. So that's the... If you need to, you know, run and get a coffee or whatever, there, you're done. That's all you need for the guy.
Yeah.
But we'll go into each one a little bit. So, closeness. So that doesn't mean, you know, physically sitting close, although that's not discounted. That's good too. But it's more about being close in terms of what you're sharing, what you're talking about, how you're being kind of there for her. So that's the kind of idea behind closeness. Is that spot on?
Sure, Dave. Guys, I'm clueless because no. I'm gonna give you guys the full situation here. Is he read the couples on how to treat me, and I read chairs on how to treat men.
The book suggests that.
Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot of what he learned from the
Sure.
book, so I can't confirm or just
But
discount what you
would
said.
that feel okay?
But yes, having that closeness in terms of being.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you guys get the point. It's a good
So,
feeling when you're close with your partner.
Yes.
When you can be best friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Next is openness. O for openness, and that is about actually sharing stuff. So basically, you come home from work, your wife asks, "How was your day?" Instead of just saying "fine," you know, you could actually tell a story, what happened that day, and you know, just sharing stuff with your spouse or your significant other like that comes, you know, shows the love and really builds that energizing cycle. And so that's the O in openness.
Yep.
Good.
Sounds good.
Okay. U in understanding. This is a good one, and this one hits home real well for me. So as guys, you know, we'll just okay. But as guys, we typically want to
as the logic thinking men that you are.
Yeah, logic thinking. Which anyway, I'm turning into John Terry here. But anyway, the understanding is the concept of guys is we always want to try and fix stuff. We always want to make things better. You don't like to see your woman in pain. You don't like to see her be sad. So you just want to fix it. So if she's telling you a story, and being like, hey, you know, my boss did this to me today at work, like, I didn't like it. Most guys, myself very much included, will say, you should go to your boss, tell her this, maybe take this as a next step, blah, 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 blah. So provide a solution. Don't do that. Not all the time.
Not all the time, yeah.
So basically, there are some times that women, they just want to share.
You just want to vent.
Yeah, just want to vent kind of thing. And so to provide that solution, you're not really helping anything because it's almost like you're not really listening.
Yeah,
you're
exactly. It feels like you're just trying to like tell me, like, I don't want you to tell me anything. I know what I'm supposed to do. I just want to rant.
I want you to understand the problem that I'm having, and that's it.
Yeah.
And go home. Like, that's good. And so the author of the book suggested him and his wife, you know, she'll be telling a story or whatever, and he'll be like, instantly trying to come up with a solution, and he'll be like, wait. Okay, do you want me to listen or do you want me to help fix it? And she'll be like, just want you to listen today. And he's like, sounds good. And you know, you just listen politely, intently, and honestly. But you don't have to solve everything. I know we're all supermen.
Like, and we're superwomen. We got this sometimes. I'm just saying.
Nah. We're supermen. We're perfect. They're not. But anyway, so that's the U for understanding.
Yeah, and I think with that one, like Dave and I actually, after reading the book, a couple of days later, we found ourselves in that situation where I was ranting to him about something that happened, and he immediately kind of gave me a solution of how to fix it, and I didn't say anything. I was just like, okay, cool. And then about to get out of the car, he's like, hold on, did you want me to actually help you out? I just wanted to listen. I'm like, honestly, I just wanted you to listen. I really didn't like what you said. Your solution, great, but I didn't listen to it because that's not what I wanted.
And it's so funny because at the time, like prior to being like, hey, what did you want? I was feeling so good. I was like, I fixed that. Meanwhile, she's just like, what an idiot. Like, and then I caught myself and I look back and it's really funny, because it's so instinctive. So, yeah. The next up is the P for peacemaking, and this one's easy. Just say you're sorry. Just say you're sorry. L for loyalty. So basically, this is you need to let your woman know, let your wife know that you're committed to her.
Yeah, you're ride or die.
Yeah, and that's that's shown in a multitude of ways. Like I don't think there's a kind of one way fix. The peacemaking is easy. Just say you're sorry. But the loyalty, it's the way you treat your woman in front of others is one. So if you show her respect, if you talk highly of her in front of others or to others, word always gets around, which is great. Great or bad, but anyway, as long as you're talking highly, it's great.
Yeah.
And so that's one example. Just being committed to your woman. That's a big thing, and it goes a long way. She needs to have that security, so
that no matter what, you're my ride or die. Yeah. We're in this together.
Yeah. Stop saying ride or die.
Why? You're my ride or die. Aren't you my ride or die?
Not when you say it like that. Anyway. And lastly, the E, esteem. And so basically that kind of goes along with loyalty a little bit, but it's building her up. It's basically, removing that insecurity from your wife with you. Obviously, everybody's insecure about something, and that's fine, but you need to remove that with your wife or your spouse, because that's not where the vulnerabilities, or I guess that is where the vulnerabilities should be, but they shouldn't
hinder your relationship.
Right. Yeah. I knew I was getting to something there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the building up the self-esteem. So that's with compliments. That's with just cherishing the things that she does for you, for the kids, for the house, for the job, whatever, everything she does, kind of thing, is making sure that she knows that you appreciate it, that you need it, that you love it, that she's doing a bang-up job, because she is. She's whammy.
Thanks, babe.
No problem.
I'm going to give an example here for a quick second. I remember talking to my cousin. This was maybe a couple of years ago before Dave and I was talking to her about a relationship that I was in at the time, and we talked about something, and she said, it's important to know that when you get married, when you're with someone, it doesn't matter what you do outside of the home, that person that you need to go back to at the end of the day, they need to be your cheerleader. Because you can be the queen and ruling the world out there, but if you get home and your husband beats you down and talks down to you, it's almost like what you did for the entire day means nothing. Because that's the person that you love the most. The person whose opinion matters to you the most really is your husband. And for you to get home and he's beating down on you and talking down to you like your Superwoman cape kind of falls right off. Yeah. So that's just something important to understand how important it is to be positive and encouraging and build up your woman's self-esteem.
Absolutely. So that's couple. C-O-U-P-L-E. Now, on to the ladies. This is your instructions.
My turn.
Yeah.
So, mine was pretty simple. We have the whole idea of chairs for the woman. Now,
C-H-A-I-R-S. I'm good at spelling.
You are great at spelling. Good job. Round of applause for Dave, guys.
Okay.
Okay, so just to give you a quick overview of what each letter means. So for C, you have conquest. And that's really just the idea of appreciating your man's, work, whatever.
We'll get into the details. Yeah, just
so
what
C
are the
is
letters
conquest, H is hierarchy, A is authority, I is insight, R is relationship, and S, sexuality. Oops. Joking, guys. Alright, so those are the main letters for the women of how to love your man, or how to respect your man, sorry. So, let's start with the C.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I learned this aspect of life, like, back when I was 19. I went to a singles conference at church, and it was really, just drilled into us. The idea of respecting a man's needs to conquer. And it's just kind of, that's how men were, back in, Neanderthal days. They went out there and they killed the animals and got food, and that's kind of what they did. They conquered the world in that way. Okay. So that instinct is kind of still in men, to say. So it's really appreciating his needs to go out there and work. So if your man's out there working hard, you might not like his job. His job might take him away from home. It might be terrible, but find the strength in you to appreciate it, because it means a lot to him. You might not give a damn about it, but it means a lot to him. So in that sense, appreciate it. Tell him thanks, babe. I appreciate you for going out there working hard. When he achieves something at work, celebrate it with him. We had to change cameras because the other one overheated. So, anyways, it's probably because we're hot. It's hot. Yep. It's just giving up.
Everything's hot.
But yeah. So as he did mention in that book, that you celebrate your husband's successes and failures with him, and kind of know that those moments are important to him, because we form important bonds during those times. Moments of celebration, moments of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Failure? No?
Tribulations.
Okay.
Yeah, we form bonds in those times. So that's one. Secondly, we have H, hierarchy. This is, he mentioned, is a bit harder for some women to grasp, because kind of there's need of, well, he's not the boss of me.
Right.
And here's the thing with that. With a man that is secure in himself, and secure in his relationship and in life, he shouldn't feel the need to be the boss of you, because it should just, I don't know, I wouldn't say it should just work, but it's like, yeah, he's not the boss of you. He shouldn't feel the need to be the boss of you. And with that being said, if a man's able to understand his role, I guess, as, you know, the head of the house or whatever, he should still be able to allow his woman to be who she is, because at the end of the day, you're still the man of the house. And that's not going to change. That doesn't mean you dictate the rules to her. It doesn't mean you dictate the laws to her. She's an equal in making those decisions with you. It's really that. She's an equal, he's an equal, make decisions together. But at the end of the day, you're my man. And I want you to be my man. I want you to protect me. I want you to love me. So, under H, what?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So under H, as I said, it's appreciating his desire to protect and provide for you in those things. And that's telling him that, hey, babe, I appreciate that you pay the bills on time. I appreciate that we have a roof over our heads. An example that he gave in the book was, you know, sending, like, emails to your husband or something while he's at work. And, you know, he wrote one here that says, honey, I respect you for your desire to protect me and provide for me and the family. I think of all the insurance you have for us, and I know the bills weigh on you at times, and I admire you for your commitment. Real simple. I'm sure, like, that'll go a long way for any man out there. Like, when's the last time you said to the man in your home that I appreciate you for doing that?
Not gonna lie, that email would come off so suspicious. What's your deal? What's the angle here? It would.
Don't listen to him.
But it would, though.
Well,
honestly,
don't just say that. Like, you can tell him I was thinking about it. I just want to tell you that I appreciate it. I know it's a lot on you. Because some men, a lot of men actually, don't feel good when they can't pay the bills. When they can't keep the lights on in the house.
Sure, yeah.
So when he's able to do that, pat him on the back. And when he can't do that, pat him on the back. Let him know that you know he's not happy that he can't do this, but you're still his ride or die. Yeah, you know he's trying and you're still with him. So that's hierarchy. A, we have authority. So it's interesting, because those hierarchy and authority really feed into each other, because it's still the same idea of understanding that, yeah, you're at the top or whatever, and with authority you appreciate the man's desire to serve and to lead. So this one, I remember our counselor did talk about it with me especially, is that we sometimes as women have a hard time letting men lead. And it's not a matter of saying, here, you do it, I'm just going to sit back and watch. No, it's understanding that sometimes he has to make decisions without you, and that's okay. It's okay. If you're marrying someone that you trust and love, trust his decision making. You have to trust that. If you can't trust that, we need to work on that on another page.
Yeah.
So it's really just the idea of trusting his decision making. He needs to know that he's doing the best thing for you as well. So let him know what you want. Let him know the things that matter to you. And if he loves you the right way, he'll be able to make decisions that will benefit you and benefit the family as a whole. And you'll be like, I trust my man. He's got this. So that one's really simple. We have insight. Appreciate his desire to analyze and counsel. This one's funny because I think it goes with the
opposite
of So it's the idea of understanding that
he wants to fix everything.
Yeah, he does want to fix everything, but in the same breath, he's not. You have to respect that he does fix some things. Let him every now and then give you an idea. Because if you're the kind of woman who's just like, I got this all the time, I don't need you to tell me anything, then what's he there for? Yeah. He's going to feel useless. He's going to feel like he's not contributing to your life.
No, we're not able to use the Superman on our chest.
Exactly. They want to use that S every now and then. Yeah. So that's just letting him... That's appreciating that in him, and when he does give you good advice, like recognize it and say, thanks babe, that was great, it worked, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Those moments, just pat on the back, great for him. Now, I just want to kind of rewind back for a moment there to the whole idea of women just being afraid of men being dominated, men being abusive. He does talk about that because it's a very prominent thing in our society. It happens, unfortunately, more often than we want it to, but it does. So he says, a good-willed husband does not use his position to put his wife down. It's really simple. A man with a good heart, who's good-willed, who wants the best for his family, best for his wife, best for himself, will not use his power, his hierarchy, his authority to demean you.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I'm so serious. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. So that's one option he says, and he talks about like reacting to an abusive man. Deuces. Not really deuces like that, but yeah, he does mention you might have to fall back from that situation. If someone's being abusive to you, they need to know that it's not okay. And you might have to seek counseling outside of those walls of the home, but that's, again, another subject on its own.
Yeah.
And the fear the women have in that same environment of being a doormat or being seen as brainless.
Right.
You're not brainless. Voice your opinion. Let him know, hey babe, here's my thought on this. I respect whatever decision you make, but here's my thought. And just leave it at that. I respect you, I trust you to make the best decision for our family, and leave it at that. So, you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. He knows you're not an idiot. Hopefully he does. If he doesn't, smack him.
All right.
So, moving on to that. We
are.
Okay. Relationship. This is the idea that men have a need for shoulder-to-shoulder friendship. For men, that might mean sitting down and watching a game together. And not even saying a word. Just staring at the TV together for an hour.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really all that is because that's what they do with their friends. That's the idea of being a friend, being your husband's friend, is doing. Sorry.
No, I like that. It's like it's the idea of being your husband's friend as opposed to your husband being your friend.
Yeah.
Because your husband being your friend is like going out to the market. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But
that's what you do with your girls.
And
but your man will do that with you every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then he'll do that, but that's not what this is talking about. Yeah.
This is talking about doing those things that he wants to do and being that, like, just sitting there not even saying a word for an hour. In your brain, you're probably like, this is so silly. But he appreciates that, and let him know that. I'm here, let's do something you want to do.
And do it positively.
Yeah.
It's if you're going to sit there
don't
and complain.
Sit there like this the entire time, because that's not
cute. This is stupid. That's not helpful.
That's not a good look. Yeah. So that's that, and last but not least, sexuality.
I'm going to leave the room. This is uncomfortable.
Appreciate his desire for sexual intimacy. So in this one, he talks about just the whole thought of, men have sexual needs. And it was kind of funny because our what's it called?
Counselor?
Our marriage counselor, like, he touched on this one quite heavily with us. It's just like he was saying, some women they like to withhold sex as punishment for their husband. And he's just like, don't do that. That's not okay. So I'm telling you guys, don't do that. It's not okay.
Straight from the counselor's mouth.
Straight from the counselor's mouth. Yeah, so just the idea of understanding that sex is as much of, love expression to him as it is him telling you you're beautiful. So don't withhold that. Don't take that as something that you have this, possession over.
Right.
And I'm not saying we don't have the power over our bodies. We do. But understand that this is a family, and I want to respect your needs, I want you to respect my needs.
Right.
So find a balance.
Basically, it's talking about, withholding sex, for example, is synonymous with a slap in the face sometimes.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's kind of what it's gearing towards, is that is a respectful thing, and so it's almost disrespectful to withhold as a punishment.
Yeah, and something and there is a verse in the Bible about them. I can't remember the exact one right now, but Paul talks about the fact that when you are married, you should have sex. You should do it. And he says, don't withhold from each other, don't stray from each other, don't stay away from each other except to fast, or if you've mutually agreed. Other than that, you gotta keep it going. It's pretty much what the Bible says. It's important, and we recognize that. Yeah. And he talks about how you can make the man feel, because I think sometimes we, as women, we get this twist and we don't know what the men really appreciate when it comes to sexual intimacy. So he talks about, one, you respond to him sexually more often, and this one, ladies, initiate sex periodically. I've heard quite often that for some people that's a big thing, like women don't initiate sex, and for men, I guess it gets tiring or whatever, having to be the one. It's kind of like, I think for women it's the same idea of having to be the one to always be like, let's go on a date, let's go on a date, let's go on a date.
Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, you're like, after all, he's like, can he just take me on a date? Like, you just come to me and say, let's go on a date, babe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same idea with that. You understand he needs sexual release just as you need emotional release. And kind of what I said, yeah, it's the same kind of need for them as it is for us emotionally.
Yeah.
You let him acknowledge his sexual temptations without fear, and he'll be unfaithful, and without shaming him. So if your man's dealing with sexual, I don't know, sexual things or whatever, like, let him feel okay to share it with you. He might think a woman's hot. I'm not saying go and sleep with her. That's not okay.
You get that?
I'm just saying, because he says about him being unfaithful. Like, don't be afraid that he'll be unfaithful. Trust him, and he should trust you. And in those moments, like, let him express his thoughts. Last but not least, don't try to make him open up to you verbally by depriving him of sex. I talked about that. Real simple. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So, that's it for chairs. Conquest, hierarchy, authority, I, insight, R, relationship, S, sexuality. Boom.
Perfect. Couple and chairs. So, last but not least, we have one more interesting diagram, the reward cycle. So again, as you can see, there's a similarity with all these diagrams. They're very simplistic, but they're very meaningful, and they make sense. So it's basically his love, regardless of her respect, regardless of his love, regardless of... So basically, what the reward cycle is talking about is always, 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 always. If you're a man, always show your woman some love. If you're a woman, always, 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 always show your man some respect.
It's not always easy.
And if you're a man, always, 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 always show your woman some love. Go ahead. And if you're a woman, always, always, always show your man some respect. Okay. That's what it's talking about.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, really simple. It's
not
always easy. There are times where you're just like, I don't want to show this man any respect right now. Because he hasn't... A common thought he talked about actually in the book was in our North American society, we have this notion of you have to earn respect to get respect.
Right.
So, that makes it harder for North Americans to respect. Because, like, what? You don't deserve it. You didn't earn it.
Right.
But in those moments in your marriage, you have to put that aside every now and then. Yeah, and just, although he doesn't deserve it, although he's, I don't know, a useless man, he does nothing with his life, he's a waste. If you're going to choose that you're going to be in that marriage, respect him. You're there, you're choosing to be there, respect him. You might as well.
Yeah. Because even though it might not be easy, it's definitely going to be rewarding. So, definitely do it. So, that's basically love and respect. Love and respect. So we'll give our thoughts here real quick. We'll just wrap it up with our overall thoughts. If I may, I'll go first. This book was terrible. No, it was good. It was a long book. It was a tougher read in that it was a lot of quotes. Like basically it was just letters after letters.
Quotes that are that long and yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of repetition in that. But so that was the negatives of it. Of the positives though, it really does kind of snap you out of a few mindsets that you might already have. The crazy cycle and the energizing cycle. I appreciate both of those the most in that, yeah, it's like you can see, once you like know about it, you can see yourself getting into it and you can see yourself getting out of it. And it's so much better to be out of it. And every now and then when it's like kind of, we're in the crazy cycle or we're kind of on our way there, and I try to take a step back, and you want to avoid it.
Well said.
Yeah, sorry, were you going to pull something up?
Yeah, actually, I was just going to say 2 or 3 things. 2 or 3, we'll see.
Let's just go with one. I'm kidding.
So, first one was, it's funny, right now the crazy cycle, he talks about just ways to acknowledge that you're in a crazy cycle and get out of it. He gives some examples that I personally would not suggest using. They were like, they were pretty funny, we talked about them. Some of them were like, oh, I can see someone's on the crazy bus today. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
That just sounds
he does, but I don't think it's a good idea. And then he just like, what else did he say? Do you remember any of them?
Talking about the pink and blue. And
I was going to talk about that next, but I'm saying a crazy idea.
Well, that was one of them. Okay. It was like, oh, you're wearing your blue
goggles today.
Yeah, blue glasses.
So, he talks about pink and blue. Women have on their pink goggles where everything's just all about love, 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 and they don't see the need for respect. And men wear their blue goggles where it's all about man, 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 respect, 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 respect. They don't see the need to love. So he talks about just those two, and every now and then you just gotta take those off and put those on and see life through those lenses.
And yeah, it's, to be honest, it's not even just love and respect. It kind of goes through a lot of different facets of life, but it's just the concept of not, you got to take a look from your partner's point of view. You have to think like her, and that, or him, your opposite, whatever. But it's not just a matter of thinking like yourself in her shoes. It's thinking like her in her shoes.
Yeah.
And that's what he talks about is very important. So, you have to kind of, you just have to know your woman, know your spouse, and be able to get in their shoes truly and understand, what they're going through.
Yeah. Now, pulling this to what really life's all about, our relationship with God. There's this thought of, we all have it, like, God loves me endlessly, I love God endlessly, period. No questions about it. And he talks about, well, why don't we just take that same thought into our marriages?
Yeah.
Why don't we just love our spouses, no matter what they do? Why don't we just learn to really, truly either put things in God's hands and say, you know what, God, I'm not going to fight him. I'm not going to, I'm just going to love him. And I'll let you take care of the rest. So that was one option. And then he talked about sometimes the issue is you. It's really that simple. Sometimes you're the problem. And it's hard for us to see when we're the problem because we never want to take responsibility of things that aren't good. So just understanding that sometimes you're the problem, and sometimes you just have to take the same approach you have with your relationship with God. Sometimes you don't see results or answers to your prayers, but you still keep on going. Keep going. You don't see answers from your man right away, but some people, if they're worth it, just keep going.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all. Perfect. Well, that is Love and Respect by
Dr. Emerson Eggerichs.
Eggerichs.
Let us know what you think. Comment below, subscribe, and just let us know. And don't forget, we're going to have a giveaway when we're done all these books. And, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have, next book is From Foreign to Familiar.
We're going to do that right now.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's, you'll see what that's about. But look forward to that. And then the last one is some book about money.
Something about money. I don't remember.
It'll be good. We'll get to that one a little bit later.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.